welcome back to my channel, So Very Domestic. I'm Meg, and today I'm going to show you how to make an Easter bunny garden cake. This cake would make a really cute Easter dessert for kids. So this video is part of a really neat collab organized by Abby over at Full-Time Wife Life, where each of us chose a part of Easter dinner to share a recipe for. I chose kid-friendly dessert because of course I did. All these videos will appear in a playlist from the beginning of the meal to the end, and I think that I'm the very last in the playlist actually. I think the dessert is the end. I may be wrong, so please check the playlist. Of course, I will link it in the description, but if I am the very end, then I encourage you to go up to the very beginning and watch the whole dinner in order. It's supposed to replicate like a progressive dinner where neighbors do like an app at one person's house and then maybe a side at somebody else's. I've heard of these and seen them on television. I have never actually experienced a progressive dinner, but now I'm participating in a virtual one. So the recipe that I picked to share is equally cute and easy. You can pull it together quickly and it looks adorable. I will link my go-to chocolate cake recipe, but this video is really more about the frosting and just sort of decorating it than whatever chocolate cake base you choose to use. Whatever recipe works for you that you make in a 9x13 the most, go with that. Otherwise, I guess go with the one that I'll link. I'm going to show you how to make the classic Wilton buttercream. And what's interesting about the vanilla buttercream, like the plain buttercream, versus their chocolate buttercream, is that the chocolate buttercream also has 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. And that's the only difference. So for this project, we only need a little bit of plain frosting in order to tint a little bit orange for carrots and tint a little bit green for grass. Otherwise, we just want chocolate. So what I'm gonna do is just make the plain buttercream without any chocolate. Take out a little bit for the orange and green, and then add in the cocoa. And what I've done in order to do that, I think that just makes the most sense for this recipe. So what I've done in order to do that is, it calls for 3/4 of a cup of cocoa. And so I just took like 2/4 scoops properly, and then the last one I took, I didn't quite fill all the way up. So the way this comes together is you cream your butter first. So I have 1 cup of butter there. The classic recipe, of course, says to cream the butter and the shortening. I just, put it all together and mix that up. And then now I'm gonna add the 4 cups of confectioner sugar. This is typically when I add the milk and vanilla. I add the vanilla first, and then I'll add the milk slowly. Basically there, I'm just going to scrape down the edges and go maybe another 30 seconds to a minute. This is how much I've set aside for the carrots and their tops, and then the rest of this I'm going to add the chocolate to it now. I didn't add all of the cocoa powder, there's still about this much left, and now I'm also going to add the rest of that milk. So here's my finished chocolate buttercream, and then over here I've got my green and orange tinted buttercream. And I also have some toothpicks for these bunny peeps that are gonna actually like stand up in the garden. And those Oreo Thins chocolate will be crushed up and used as dirt. You could also use regular Oreos crushed up, or you could even use, like you can buy Oreo crumbs that you can use for crust. You can use that instead. For now, I'm gonna break up those Oreo Thins in my little Ninja blender. I did a rough chop. I'm not really going for powdery because I still want it to look kind of chunky. I've spread the chocolate buttercream onto the cake, and I have moved my tinted buttercream into piping bags. I've used tip number 133 for the green, which will look like grass, and then tip number 12, which is just like a big circle, for the orange to give us a little carrot. So I'm just going to start off by doing a perimeter of grass. Obviously, you can take creative license and do this however you'd like. I just did like 2 patches of green, again with that Wilton tip 133 around in the corners, and then I just used the big circle tip, which I think was number 12, to just put down like carrot tops, and then put the green leaves on top of those. And now I'm going to add the dirt. Do not add the dirt first, because this grass and carrot situation will not stick to the dirt. Ta-da! This came together really quickly. It took 35 minutes to cook the cake itself, and then maybe 10 or 15 minutes to put it together once it had cooled off. Like I literally put that buttercream layer down, and then I put the green around, and I made like the green stripes in the middle just to make sort of rows of whatever, grass, cabbage perhaps, you know, and then to put on those carrots and those crumbs. I attached the peeps, probably obviously, to the cake with toothpicks. And so, of course, if you have very little kids, I would just remove the toothpicks before you serve it to them. Otherwise, if the kids are bigger, you can just tell them they're in there and they can watch out for them, pull them out themselves if they get a piece with a peep on it. Or you could even put one peep per kid that you're serving it to, because everybody gets their own. As always, thank you so much for watching. I encourage you to go through this playlist and see what everyone else has brought to this virtual progressive dinner, and I would love to hear how it worked out for you if you try out this recipe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up to show some support and subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thanks, bye!